Yeah, and
protection is the key. Goen will kick off to start the second half. Mike Adams and Will Blackwell back deep for the Steelers. 17-0 Dallas as we get ready to start. Half number 2 at Three Rivers. Line drive kickoff goes over everybody's head and out of the end zone. First half possessions, and look at this for the Steelers.
Yeah, well, you know, their starts really weren't bad. I mean, that's not a bad start, and that's not a bad start, but their deepest penetration was to the Dallas 40. I mean, you know, they didn't have real terrible starts all the time, but even when they did get a pretty good start, they didn't do anything with it. And where we said how the Cowboys and Troy Aikman have gotten into a rhythm, the Steelers have not gotten into a rhythm offensively.
You punt 6 times in a half, and you haven't been very good on offense. That's Bettis. His best run of the day. Dexter Coakley made the stop on Bettis. That was a question about Coakley, if he was big enough to take on backs as big as Bettis. There aren't many that big. Coakley's only about 220.
Now the guy that missed though was Brock Marion. Coakley was up there. Brock Marion, you know, the Cowboys always give one of their safeties a whole responsibility. Brock Marion had it that time and missed the tackle.
Second and short. Bettis. First down. Stopped by Godfrey. That's what we thought the Steelers were going to do all day long, bang away with Bettis.
Well, they started to control the line of scrimmage. Brendan Stye got a hold of Tony Casillas and got him going backwards, and that gave him a soft spot. They stood Casillas up in the middle of the line, got a little movement going back on him, and then they were able to get that first down. In the first half, they didn't get any backward movement.
Here's Stewart back to throw, going deep, but the coverage is good, and Sanders knocks it away. Yancey Thigpen, the intended receiver.
You know, you always wonder about that. Is, you know, if you're playing against Deion Sanders, and one of the things the Steelers says, you know, we're not going to worry about Deion Sanders. We're going to go after him. We're going to treat him like any other corner. Yeah, I don't know that you can treat him like any other corner because he covers like no other corner covers.
That's right.
But then if you stay away from him completely, then you play right into the hands and give the Cowboys the strength of an extra man.
If you're going to go after him, you don't intend to be planning for a long stay. Here's Stewart. To Charles Johnson. A short pickup.
There's a tough moment of decision when you're holding on to the football and your hat's going off.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the wind coming up. I mean, you know, what do you grab? And do you grab your hat or do you keep the ball on him? Charles Johnson on that play decided to hold on to the ball and let his hat go.
How come your hat always falls off or blows off at a crucial moment, right in the middle of a cut or right in the middle of a catch, right in the middle of a throw? Here's Kordell Stewart. Pass is intercepted by Coakley. And Coakley, who had bruised ribs in the first half, gets the interception.
And we were just talking about Coakley. Is he big enough? Is he all these things? And you know, he's fast enough to do it. He's a 4.4 40, and that's as fast as most backs and wide receivers in this league. Fast and quick and can make plays like that.
Pat Summerall, John Madden back at Three Rivers Stadium. Cowboys 1st and 10 at the Steelers 37. Aikman retreats. Fires. It was there to Anthony Miller. He dropped it.
You know, as you look at Anthony Miller, he's really going to help this Cowboy team. And I think he has so far. Obviously, he got him their first touchdown, and I think he's taken some of the pressure off of Michael Irvin. But you notice something different about him is that he doesn't wear gloves. It seems like most wide receivers in this league wear gloves. And Anthony Miller is one of the few wide receivers that you see that doesn't wear gloves.
I can't think of another one. There's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt slides and slips past a couple of tacklers. Chad Scott finally brought him down at the 32.
You know, we were talking about opening day and how great opening day is, and it's the first game and preseason's over and training camp's over and they all count. You know, we don't have an opening day that's really good in football. I mean, baseball has it. It's opening day on the road, opening day at home, opening day here, bunting. And I look here in the stadium, and they don't have any bunting, so we brought our own bunting and put it there. There's no, you can't have opening day without bunting. I mean, you know, it's like turkey and Thanksgiving, bunting and opening day. They have to go together.
Here's Aikman back to throw, and he gets it to his tight end, to his fullback, Daryl Johnston, who rumbles down inside the Pittsburgh 15. Down to about the 14. That's a Dallas first down. Yeah. That's not bad bunting, but there's just not enough of it.
But I carry it on my bus. I know. Because I don't know where bunting goes the rest of the year. I mean, when you're not playing baseball or opening days. So I have 3 pieces of it. So there's a piece up here and a piece on 2 cameras.
Do you keep it inside the bus or you hang it outside?
No. I keep it inside, and then on opening day I hang it outside.
The next best thing we can do is have you throw out the first ball.
Well, no, I don't want to throw it, but someone should. I mean, we should have those kind of things on opening day in football.
First down, Dallas. This is Emmitt Smith.
It's over.
15. You heard him say it's over. Earl Holmes made the stop.
If you don't block Earl Holmes, every time you run inside, it's going to be over. You know, he and Levon Kirkland play that inside, and they're pretty tough. I mean, here's Holmes right here, and they're going to run right at him, but they want to get. You see, Nate Newton starts out on him, and Holmes just runs right by Nate. I mean, Nate thinks he's going to stay there and wait for him. And Earl Holmes is having nothing that. He just moved, boom, he just moves to his left. He's right there in front of Emmitt Smith.
2nd and 11. Throwing down for Aikman. Bruce Johnson moves in motion. Aikman looks left. Still no signal.
Yeah, it's a touchdown.
Aikman to Irvin.
Michael Irvin is having a heck of a day. So is Troy Aikman.
.596 career reception. He passes Sterling Sharp in all-time records. Michael Irvin, 5 catches, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'd say that's a heck of a day.
Now, and Troy Aikman, you know, just got him out there, and the rookie again, Chad Scott, threw a jump ball to him.
Cunningham's extra point is good. And the Cowboys lead the Steelers 24-0. It's a heck of a catch.
Look at the jump ball. I mean, there's 4 hands up there, and the 2 of Irvin's get it.
10:42 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 24-0. Michael Irvin, 2 touchdowns today. He had 2 all of 1996. I remember the last preseason game, I think, or the next to last preseason game. You were down the tunnel?
Yeah, I was in the tunnel after the game, and Michael Irvin came up to me and says, "We aren't ready now." He said, "But when we play Pittsburgh," he said, "we will be ready. I'll guarantee it."
This is the rookie from Texas, Adams, who fumbled right into the hands of another Steeler. Number 54, Dante Jones.
Watch the protection on that touchdown pass, Pat. I mean, Troy Aikman, from the 1st quarter on, has had this type of protection. Look, he can just stand there and wait, and then he just throws a jump ball. Now watch Chad Scott here, number 30. He's not bad. I mean, this isn't bad coverage. There's 4 hands go up for the ball, and Michael Irvin's 2 come down with it. But that was, you know, a great throw by Troy Aikman, because it was right at the end where either Irvin is going to get it or no one's getting it.
That's Bettis. Bettis over the right side for about 4.
Now, see, Bettis has gained 45, 46 yards today, and now with that touchdown, that really takes Jerome Bettis and running out of the game.
Yep.
I mean, the Steelers, if they're going to get back in this thing, they have to start doing something and doing it quickly. I mean, they can't pound it out, keep it on the ground.
They were within range. They were within range before that one series where they took Bettis out, put George Jones in, and threw the ball on almost every down. Bettis left it on the ground, and the Cowboys have it. And that's Brock Marion, I believe, who made the recovery, and he's down at about the 10-yard line, maybe inside the 10.
The Cowboys got him going backwards now. That's one thing that Jerome Bettis does do, is he's a fumbler. In fact, I think of all the running backs last year, he fumbled more than any other running back. And here you see you know, he just fumbles the exchange. I don't know if it was low or didn't get there, but that ball never did get to Jerome Bettis. Brock Marion just picks it up.
First down, Cowboys at the Steeler 10. They lead it 24-0.
And we talk about the Cowboys and the offense and Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin, but their defense has played very well today and been very aggressive and has made things happen. Not only that fumble, but on the time before they got the interception, Dexter Coakley.
First and goal at the 10. Emmitt Smith gets to about the 9.
I think the Cowboys have proved one thing that they can do is throw the ball today, and they've probably proven one other thing that they can't do today is run the ball inside.
Well, Emmett's had no place to go, no place to cut back, and no place to keep going.
Yeah, and that's the center. I mean, Clay Shiver, there's not a lot to him in there at center, and you know, with Joel Steed, they're not getting a lot of movement on him, so there's no cutback lane.
They go with 2 tight ends. Here's Aikman rolling behind Newton, looking in the end zone, throws it away.
You know, you wonder where Ernie Zampese came up with that play, because Troy Aikman doesn't run with the ball much. I mean, Troy Aikman's pass protection has been so good today that he can just stand back there and throw. He doesn't have to run, and when he runs, he looks like a guy who doesn't run much. There's Ernie Zampese who called that play. I don't know where that one came from, and Troy Aikman is probably thinking where that one come from.
Give somebody down the road something to think about.
I don't know. He probably some list or something Ernie had there and just found one that he hadn't used.
Or maybe he ran out of pencils.
He hadn't used since his days at L.A. or something.
Johnston comes back in motion. Aikman throws back to Emmitt Smith. And Emmett's out of bounds at about the 7.
Be careful, Jim. Be careful. There you go.
I heard somebody say decapitated, didn't I?
No, you're saying be careful.
Oh, be careful.
That was the official. No, the official was there. That's good officiating. I've always thought that, you know, that officials ought to be a little more like fight referees and get in there and do that type of stuff. You know, when a play is ended, start talking and doing those kinds of things.
I knew decapitated didn't belong down there.
He was just trying to tell them, you know, out of bounds, the play's over. Everyone be careful here.
Richie Cunningham. They made it officially 52 yards, but it was closer to 53. For the field goal, and Cunningham hits again, and the Cowboys get further ahead, 27-0. Everything is rolling the way of Dallas. 8:40 left in the third. Third hot day for Troy Aikman. 15 out of 23. 3 touchdowns. Goin set to kick it off. And back deep. Adams and Blackwell for Pittsburgh. Goin hits another one deep. Way deep. And they won't bring it out. If you haven't heard about the visitor by now, you must be from another planet. The world.
Ready? Square, toes in, eyes crossed.
Kordell Stewart back to throw it. Pass is complete to Johnson. He gets the Steeler first down. 27-0. Dallas leading.
You know, you never know what preseason means. You know, the Steelers were 5-0 in preseason, looked very good. Kordell Stewart looked good, although he didn't play the last preseason game. But when you start for real, where it counts, and you start the first regular season game, it's a totally different football game than those 4, or in the Steelers' case, 5 preseason games were. Kordell Stewart's learning that now.
The Cowboys were 2-2 in the preseason. Pass intended for Charles Johnson, incomplete.
I don't know if they've completed anything out there today on Deion Sanders.
I don't think they have.
No, I don't think that's a way. I think I'd find some other place to go, you know, or get in formations and so on, and work some of these other guys, work those 2 safeties, because Kevin Smith has been doing pretty well out on the other side. Deion Sanders, they can't get any work done there. I think I'd try the safeties.
The Cowboys have 2 fresh tackles on defense. Here comes Bettis, rambling too close to the 41 and close to a first down. Marion and Woodson made the stop.
Did you see Marion come in to make that tackle, and he hit Jerome Bettis the bus, and he got turned around and started going the other way.
Flag on the play. Back at about the 30-yard line.
Going to be against the Steelers. But old Brock Marion, you know, you see that. You have to hit him.
Holding number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
You know, Brock Marion was all set to sign with Baltimore, and he couldn't pass the physical. The Cowboys re-signed him.
Watch him here, what happens to him after they re-sign him, number 31. He's going to come right here and get ready to hit. And then he gets hit, and he gets spun around, turned the other way. Look at him. When he ends up, his head is pointing towards the goalpost.
He and Woodson both. The bus didn't stop there.
No. The bus didn't stop there. The bus turned some heads.
But the penalty brings it all back. Kordell Stewart back to throw. Rush by Hennings, down by Hennings.
Yeah, the Cowboys have it going now. They got him on the heels. You get the lead. Now you could just tee off. Here's Chad Hennings right here. Here's Brendan Stye working on him. And he just gets his outside shoulder, and then with his right hand, he gets his inside shoulder. He starts outside, gets him to step outside, and then when Brendan Stye takes that outside step, he whaps him with the inside arm, knocks him to the outside, then goes inside, and then hits the quarterback. That's what he did.
And it was their second sack of the day. 4 wide receivers. Pittsburgh, Stewart out of the shotgun. Down the middle, incomplete. Will Blackwell, the intended receiver, broken up again by that Dallas secondary.
Brock Marion's having a good day. He's having a good day against the run. He just broke up a pass there, and we know that he stays in here on punt return. One thing about the Cowboys, probably more than any other team that I can think of, they use their starters and leave them in on special teams a lot more than other teams. I mean, here's Deion Sanders returning punts. Brock Marion is up on the line. He's this guy right here. So they do keep their regulars in and play them on return.
Miller gets it out. Sanders retreats. Handles the punt, retreats to the 30. Deion Sanders with some room, and Sanders tripped up by the kicker Miller, but a good return inside the Steelers 30.
I don't care. This guy is amazing.
He really is.
I don't care. I don't care. This is amazing. I mean, the job that he's done on defense has come here. He hasn't played a down. He hasn't even practiced a down.
And the kicker hurt himself making that stop. Miller grabbed his arm.
I think he hurt his feelings. You know, he told us last night, he said, you know, that he was going to play all the defense. He said he's going to return the punts. And he said, as he was walking out of the room, he said, hey, do me a favor. He said, when I make a big play on a punt return or something, he said, say hello to my kids, Dion and DeAndre, and give them my love.
Tell them I love them.
There it is. He made the play, and he told them.
First down, Dallas at the Pittsburgh 27. LaFleur was the man in motion. Here's Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt Smith, stiff arm, wrestled to the ground by Scott. Bill Cowher.
You don't see that an awful lot. The head coach calling the whole offense around. I mean, he's telling them that you know that we're stinking this joint out, and they are. I mean, their offense hasn't helped at all. I mean, their offense hasn't done anything, hasn't gotten anything started, hasn't gotten beyond the 40-yard line, hasn't come close to doing anything, and they're just sitting there and they're letting bad things happen. I mean, they're having fumbles, they're having interceptions, I mean, all the things that you don't want with an offense.
Return punts. That's not the offense, that's the special teams. Here's Aikman back to throw it. Wheels it outside, incomplete, intended for Michael Irvin.
You know, it's been a long day for Chad Scott. You know, we saw him the whole day having to cover Michael Irvin and do all the things he's done out there, and then he comes up to make a tackle and he meets Emmitt Smith's forearm. Straight arm.
But he hung on.
The old straight arm. Yeah, he did that. No, he's a good player.
Watch the bullets. Watch the bullets.
There's the sign. DeAndre Jr.
That's Irvin in motion this time. Aikman on third down will throw. Gets it to Daryl Johnston, and Daryl doesn't quite get a first down, I don't think.
You know, everywhere you go, they know the moose call. I mean, obviously in Dallas, you know, when the moose does anything, you get that moo, you know, and all that. But wherever you go in this league today, you get the moose call.
And he did get a first down.
And this isn't far from his home. You know, he's from Upper New York. In fact, his mother left some. Mrs. Johnston left some fruit on the bus.
Some plums, some peaches.
Yeah, some plums. The fruit that they get in the Upper New York State now. That the Moose's Uncle Moose grows on the Moose farm in Upper New York.
Moose can do a lot of things. Here's Emmons inside the 15 to about the 13.
See, now they can start the pounding. I mean, there are different ways. You know, in the old days, you used to run to set up the pass, and then you would pass. And then Bill Walsh and the 49ers, remember, they brought in a plan like the Cowboys are using today, where you pass, and then you get to loosen up, then you set up the run.
Well, it's like Aikman was saying last night. What we're looking for is balance. Outside to Daryl Johnston. And he's going to score for the Cowboys from Aikman.
They cut the moose loose. Who would have thought? We were talking about the moose and the moose's uncle and the moose's uncle's farm, and then lo and behold, they cut the moose loose. You're not going to see a lot of that, where they're going to throw touchdown passes to Moose Johnston. Here he is, the fullback here. He moves out to the left, and he just keeps going. He goes in motion, and you see he gets outside. They have a hook inside. When he went in motion, no one covered him. They said, hey, the moose is a blocker. You don't even have to cover the old moose out there. So they let him go. No one went with him when he shifted. No one went with him when he went in motion. Michael Irvin came inside, and boom, the moose is right outside.
Cunningham for the extra point. Bjornson's the holder, and everything is perfect. 34-0. Dallas over Pittsburgh. Boy, you thought this was going to be such a defensive struggle and such a classic contest. You never know. It's 34, Pittsburgh nothing. That's not nothing wrong with your picture. Well, I think you can tell by the smile on Troy Aikman's face.
And you don't see a lot of those.
No.
You know, remember a couple years ago we were saying that he always looks so tight and he never smiles and never has any fun. Well, he's smiling and he's having fun today.
He said last night, I feel very good about our team.
Better than he has in years.
Yep. That's Will Blackwell on the return for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I said that they didn't go with the moose. Watch, here he is here, and first thing he's going to do is shift. Now you watch the Steeler defense, they'll make a little adjustment when he shifts. You see, they move a little here. Now he goes in motion out here. No one goes with him. See, there's no defender coming out here with him. So he just keeps going. Michael Irvin comes in, and Moose Johnston has the whole defense outflanked.
Stewart gives to Bettis. Bettis outside the 35. Stopped by Brock Marion again.
Brock Marion has been very, very active. You expect Darren Woodson of the two safeties to be the more active, but today out there it's been Brock Marion. In fact, maybe he's been so active he knocked something out of himself. He probably got a cramp because he's been playing so much.
Yep.
That's the walk of a cramp. That's a cramp walk.
Omar Stoutmeyer takes his place. Stewart again to Bettis. To the 40, that's a first down.
Yeah, that's the look of it. He had the walk of a cramp, and then when he goes to the sidelines, that's the look of a cramp. And then that's what they do when you get a cramp. You know, that's the old thing where they take your toe and they point it backwards to where it came from, and then they try and massage the muscles. He has a cramp in his calf. That's from being dehydrated, not having enough fluids in you. You're a little low on electrolytes.
Where do you point his toe?
Point your toe
Back where it came from?
Where it came from, yeah. Your toe should be up, not down.
I'll take the cramp. Bettis, the ball carrier. Dallas 34, Pittsburgh nothing. 2:40 left to play in the third quarter. Second and 7. A score that must be a shock to a lot of people, including 2 of us in the booth. Maybe all of us in the booth. Incomplete. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown.
On those things too. I mean, Lawrence Phillips is running, but the Saints don't look like they're tackling a lot of those guys.
Like the Steelers haven't looked like they're covering a lot of guys today. There's Brock Marion.
Well, that's the next thing they do with a cramp. You see, in the old days, they used to just tell you that you didn't drink enough fluids. Now they stretch you, and then they put your toe back where it came. Then they got a little a machine or something.
They used to say you got a cramp and pour water on you.
Yeah, but now they have a thing. Look, they even got a name for it, Pro Stretch. So it's a professional way to stretch. You got amateur ways to stretch, kid ways to stretch, professional ways to stretch. Then they go back to the other thing. That must be a heck of a cramp old Brock Marion got there. They've been working stuff in there now and got gloves on to put it in, and he has Pro Stretch, and there's something.
Yeah. 3rd and 7.
The old cramp, you just used to walk it out, didn't you?
Walk it off. No sympathy. Stewart, incomplete. Intended for Charles Johnson. Now, whatever bit of confidence that Kordell Stewart had earlier, he's lost.
No, and you have to, you know, it's the old success breeds success, and you know, he's a very positive guy, and everyone here, the fans are staying with him. You know, I mean, I saw in the pregame show where he was talking to Terry Bradshaw, and Terry Bradshaw was saying, well, you got to get hard and you got to watch, they'll boo you and all that, and you know, eventually they will, but they're giving him his day today, a freebie.
Mathis back deep for Dallas. Miller, Josh Miller to punt. Good kick. Signals fair catch, lets it bounce and into the end zone. The Cowboys will take over at the 20. It has been a banner day. 56-yard punt. It's been a banner day for Troy Aikman.
Look at the time that he's had. I mean, that was the first one. Remember the Anthony Miller? Watch it back here. The big thing is that fake. See that fake? And then come out here to Michael Irvin.
And a jump ball, the next one. And Irvin came down with it.
This is the old sea of hands. 4 hands to get it.
And then the move.
The old Moose outflanked them all. The Moose went unscathed into the end zone. 34-0. Who would have thought in the 3rd quarter?
Who would have thought?
At 3 Rivers.
Who would have thought? Emmett Smith, the ball carrier, stopped by Nolan Harrison.
You know, the Steelers have a couple of all-pros, you know, guys that have been all-pros over the years. Levon Kirkland inside and Greg Lloyd on the outside. And they're kind of a linebacker defense, and this offense of the Cowboys has really controlled those guys. I mean, Kirkland nor Lloyd have really been very big today.
A flag on that last play. It looked like Greg Lloyd might have stepped offside just too quickly, but they'll talk it over.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
Face mask, number 74, defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Nolan Harrison.
Yeah, Nolan Harrison was the guy that made the play. He started on the left end. The play came across. He came across the field, and he was the guy that made the tackle. He was also the guy that they called the face mask penalty on.
And a major face mask. There are 2 kinds, 1-5, 1-15. That was a 15-yarder, and that gives the Cowboys a 1st down.
Yeah, if you just get your hand on the face mask, that's the 5-yard. If you get the hand and twist or pull back, then that's the 15-yard variety.
Cowboys 1st down at the 35. LaFleur in motion. Here's Emmett Smith penning for a yard. Looking for a place to cut, but it's just not there.
No, and it hasn't been there all day. And you know, we talked about the things that they have been able to do. They've been able to pass protect. Troy Aikman's been able to throw. They've been able to do all those things. And again, we've talked about the things they haven't been able to do, and that's to run straight up the middle at Joel Steed. That hasn't worked in the 3rd quarter, and it didn't work in the 1st or 2nd quarter either.
2nd and 8. Johnston again goes in motion. This time somebody goes with him.
He adjusted to it that time.
Incomplete pass and a flag on the play. It was intended for Anthony Miller.
The flag was on Jason Gilden. He was the linebacker there, and what they did is they tried that motion play and figured this time they would go with Moose into motion.
Number 92, defense. Automatic first down.
And then they'd get the ball to Anthony Miller. Jason Gilden's a linebacker, and he was just back there playing a zone. Anthony Miller came in, and he just reacted to it, and he hit Miller before the ball got there.
Cowboys with 2 consecutive penalty first downs. And now it's 1st and 10, Dallas at their own 41. They lead 34-0.
And they're whipping the Steelers every way that the Steelers can be whipped.
In their own yard. Here's Emmitt Smith, and finally room.
Silva!
Close to midfield. Earl Holmes made the stop, but 9 yards for Emmitt, maybe 8.
Well, they finally got Joel Steed on that one, and you're going to watch Nate Newton will come down and he'll cut him here. Now when they get him down, then they can get a cutback in there. You see, then Emmitt Smith can get a cutback. You see, right here they take him down. Well, he just kind of fell over Nate Newton,
yep.
But they kept him on the line of scrimmage, didn't let him get penetration, and that gave Emmitt Smith the cutback.
Daryl Johnston. He is close to a Cowboy first down. Over behind Larry Allen. And Eric Williams, who's almost back to what he was 3 years ago.
Yeah, and you know, back to what he was 3 years ago is the best tackle in football. In fact, 3 years ago, I thought Eric Williams was the best offensive lineman in football. And then he had his car wreck, and you know, he's been rehabbing from that, and I think Larry Allen, to me, has taken that position from him.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Dallas 34, Pittsburgh nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Dallas has scored on their last 6 possessions, and they lead it 34-0. First down here in Steeler territory, just across the 50. Miller was the man in motion. That's Emmitt Smith. And Smith cuts back and cuts to the Steeler 40. Stopped by Darren Perry. Emmitt picking his way.
Yeah, we were talking about how Troy Aikman was talking about the offense of the Cowboys. They want to be a balanced offense, and I think that's true, and it doesn't make any difference when you get it. And you know, you always assume that you get your running first and then your passing will come. And I think today they're going the other way. I mean, Troy Aikman, Ernie Zampese calling the plays has been saying, you know, it's been tough getting any running going, so they really opened and loosened things up in the passing game.
2nd and short. Here's Emmitt Smith burrowing underneath and to a first down.
Yeah, we talk about who's the best right now, and I kind of think the best right now is Larry Allen. And just watch the way that he blocks. I mean, he gets guys, and he gets underneath their shoulder pads, and he is so powerful and so explosive that he hits guys, and the next thing that hits is the back of their head on the turf.
That's the old-fashioned pancake right there.
Yeah, and he finishes off. I was talking to Hudson Houck about that, the offensive line coach, yesterday, that Larry Allen finishes off blocks better than anyone.
Here's Aikman. Pass complete outside to Irvin, out of bounds at the Pittsburgh 20. 21-yard line make it. Chad Scott on the coverage.
Yeah, you could feel that now that they could just do that all day. That, you know, again, with the pass protection and with Michael Irvin, the kind of day that he's having, and the zone or whatever, the rhythm that Troy Aikman is in, that they could just pass every down and play catch and score 60 or 70 points against this team.
First down, Dallas at the Steeler 21.
Look how far Chad Scott is off Michael Irvin now.
Here's Emmitt Smith trying to get wide. And does get wide. Cuts back into the middle, down to the 16. Darren Perry again made the stop.
You see how far Chad Scott is playing off of Michael Irvin now. They could throw ins and outs and hooks on them all day, and I'm surprised they're not going back to that.
Injured Steeler on the play.
You know, one thing, you know, when you get to the regular season, then you get down to your regular squad, so you don't have a lot of extra guys to substitute with. So the start of the season also means that your starters really play the whole game no matter what happens.
34-0 Dallas. 12:52 left in the game.
Computing by the owners, managers, and crew who proudly call the McDonald's in your neighborhood my McDonald's. And by Starter, professional sportswear worn by more teams and more major.
As Emmitt Smith, the ball carrier, stopped by Greg Lloyd.
I think the Cowboys are just trying to run out the clock now. I mean, you know, there's a lot of clock to run out. I mean, there's over 12 minutes, but they're just playing keep away, and that's one of the things that Pittsburgh couldn't afford today, was to have their defense on the field this much. And the reason their defense is on the field as much is their offense couldn't get anything going and kept, you know, just going 3 and out or turnovers, and then putting, boom, the Cowboy offense right back there again. And Troy Aikman, with this much time, has just done surgery on this defense.
3rd and 5. Aikman takes a timeout and heads over to the sideline.
Second charge timeout. Dallas.
Bill Cowher on the other side of the field. What a discouraging, disappointing day it has to have been for him. 34-0 Dallas. Diana, the People's Princess. At Three Rivers Stadium, Dallas 34, Pittsburgh nothing. Only the second time in 41 Pittsburgh home games under Bill Cowher the opponent has scored over 27 points. It's been a Dallas day. Johnston went in motion and Aikman back to throw. Looks left. Pass is caught. First down. Out of bounds is Michael Irvin.
Yeah, we ought to look at that one again. I mean, just to see just how much time Troy Aikman had. I mean, when he was able to come across there, I mean, you're going to see here Michael Irvin catches this ball on the out again on Chad Scott. Chad Scott's been pretty close to them. He hasn't really been bad. But watch what Troy Aikman does. He looks to the right, and then he comes all the way back to the left outside. He goes from the right to the middle, all the way back to the left outside.
LaFleur in motion on first down. They give to Emmitt Smith. Emmitt down at the 10. Donnell Wolford.
They were talking about why Larry Allen is, and you just have to watch him. I mean, they put Jerry Olszewski in there now, but watch him. I mean, he just gets someone. Olszewski tries to jump on it, you know, jump in the air and trying everything on him, and he is just so big and so square and so powerful and so strong that when he hits you, the next thing you end up in the ground all the time.
That's almost unbelievable.
Now, I mean, how'd you like to be a guy and say, okay, who do I play this week? Well, you play number 73 of the Cowboys. Well, maybe you move to the other side.
2nd and 10. Aikman backpedal. Incomplete. Try to get it to the rookie #1 draft choice, LaFleur.
Yeah, but they got him now on that right side where they're not even rushing. I mean, you know, I mean, Eric Williams and Larry Allen, they kind of got that side over there taken care of. They kind of, you know, it's kind of down to a simmer. The burn is over. There's nothing. Just watch the right side. I mean, here's Harrison right there. I mean, he just does nothing. I mean, he doesn't even get off the line of scrimmage before the pass is thrown. And that's a tough deal for Nolan Harrison. I know that, but I mean, you got to get beyond the line of scrimmage on a pass rush.
Here's Aikman to throw. Incomplete. Fired in the end zone, intended for Irvin. And we'll see Cunningham again. Chad Scott, the defender. He's done a good job.
I've been impressed with Chad Scott. I mean, you know, he's the guy. He's the rookie. It's his first game, and they're going to work on him, and you know that. But he's hung in there. I mean, he, you know, in a corner, any defensive back, a cornerback, has to have a bad memory, you know, because you're going to be beaten. But you have to forget about it and go on to the next play, and Chad Scott's done that. I mean, they're getting whipped, but he's passing his test. He really is.
Cunningham's 2 for 2. Now he's 3 for 3. 28-yard field goal by Richie Cunningham. And the Cowboys increase their lead to 37-0 with still 10 minutes and a half left to play. Shocked to tell you how badly they're losing. 37-0.
Yeah, and at home, and you always worry when you go on the road and you're a coach or a team. You always worry about the crowd and the crowd noise and the crowd being in the game. Yep. And the way to take the crowd out of the game is what the Dallas Cowboys have done to the Pittsburgh Steelers today. They've completely quieted this crowd.
Blackwell brings it out at the 5. Gets out of bounds. Right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in the Fox Television Center. And 37-0 back in Pittsburgh. The Cowboys over the Steelers. Dallas defense has been outstanding. Kordell Stewart. Pass is incomplete. Courtney Hawkins, the intended receiver. Pittsburgh offense, we were just talking about the Dallas defense. They had the ball 9 times. They've punted 7 times, including 2 3-and-outs, and they've had 2 turnovers. That pretty well takes care of it.
And they haven't gotten beyond the 40-yard line, so they haven't done anything. And in not doing anything, they've given the Cowboys way too much. And the Cowboys, every advantage they've taken, they've taken advantage of.
There's Kordell Stewart. The pocket caves in. He gets it to the rookie George Jones, who is down, chased down from behind by Shante Carver.
Well, Wendell Davis is in at right corner now, and that's one thing. We're talking about how once the regular season starts, you can't make a lot of substitutions because you've cut your squad down, but you can take certain players. I mean, you can take a Deion Sanders and say, okay, Deion, you did your job for the day and you won't play anymore. At some point, I would see him taking out Emmitt Smith. At some point, I'd see him taking out Troy Aikman. At some point, Michael Irvin. But you just can't make mass wholesale changes.
4 wide receivers this time for the Steelers. Jones in the backfield with Stewart. Here comes the blitz. The pass is incomplete. Almost picked off by Brock Marion. Will Blackwell saved an interception when he tackled Brock Marion. Tony Tolbert, as you know, if you're a Cowboy follower, has very bad knees. If he gets 30 plays a game, he's lucky, and he's giving him a rest now.
Watch Blackwell here. What he did is he took his eyes off the ball. I mean, he felt an inside defender coming, and he looked over at that guy before, and that's a rookie mistake. You shouldn't make that if you're in college or high school. You got to watch the ball. He looked inside.
Miller's punt is a good one, and it flies into the end zone. 57-yard punt. Looks like Emmett could be done for the day. 37-0, his team leads. Sherman Williams.
Well, the Cowboys did just what we were talking about before. They took Troy Aikman out. Wade Wilson's a quarterback now, as you said. They took Michael Irvin out, and they took Emmitt Smith out. And we'd already seen on defense they'd taken Deion Sanders out. So they're starting to make the changes, that they can make. But again, they don't have wholesale changes because they don't have wholesale players.
They only have 4 wide receivers. Billy Davis. Herschel Walker is one of the running backs now. This is Sherman Williams. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the NFL is prohibited. What a day for Aikman.
It started this week in the locker room. Mark Bruener was saying to him, I heard that you're the most accurate quarterback in rhythm and all this stuff. And he put a Gatorade bottle on top of his head and he said, let's see you hit this off. And Troy said he picked the ball up and threw it and knocked it off.
From 25 yards away. Here's Wade Wilson. Fires it out of bounds.
Good job, Joe.
But, the amazing part of that story is not Troy Aikman. I mean, I think that, he could be 25 yards away and knock a bottle off a guy's head. But the amazing story is this guy, Mark Bruener, he just put it on top of his head.
And didn't move.
No, and Troy said he threw it at you. And you have to throw it with some velocity. And he said Bruener didn't even flinch. So Bruener, when he said to it, he calls him Roy. He says, here, Roy. He said, let's see, I hear about how accurate you are and all this. Knock this bottle off my head. Bill Williams told it, and lo and behold, he did it.
Going back to punt.
But Tuanay has to be a guy that doesn't care. If you do that, you have to not care.
Flag on the play. Blackwell taken down by Bates.
Yeah, we talked
Dale
about
Hellestray, who snapped the ball, made the stop. I beg your pardon.
Well, and Bill Bates was down there too. Bill Bates is something. We talk about Tuanay.
48 offense. Penalty decline. First down.
Tuanay, a 15-year veteran. Here's another 15-year veteran, Bill Bates.
Both of them all the time with the same team, and both of them drafted as free agents.
Very tough guys too.
This week on the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, the playoff race heats up when American League Eastern Division rivals clash. The Orioles against the Yankees, plus other key matchups. Coverage begins a half hour before game time with In the Zone, followed by All the Action. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
You know, I think if you were going to go someplace, there was going to be a little something going on, maybe. I think you want to take Bates and Tuanay. You want them on your side. A little foxhole story.
Yep. With you, though.
Yeah, here's what it looks like. Say here's Tuanay's head, right? And you put a bottle right up here. Here's the bottle. Now you get 25 yards away, like over here where the Fox box is, and he just doesn't even play. He just goes like, and then you go boom, and you knock it right off his head, just like that. And he never blinked. He never played. He didn't do anything.
I'm not even sure that I could put a bottle on top of my head and it would stay there.
Yeah, you could.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Give me a bottle. Give me a bottle.
George Jones.
I don't think that would be the tough part. I don't think the bottle would be the tough part. No, I think you could do that.
Well, that's iced tea you got on you.
No, I know, but it doesn't make any difference. I mean, you just put the bottle here, and you can stand here. But the thing is if you got the bottle on your head, you can't flinch anyway.
Who do you trust?
And not. I don't know anyone that I would trust enough to put the bottle on my head like this.
This is Pittsburgh's deepest possession, deepest penetration into Dallas territory for the day. Ball is batted down by the Cowboy defense.
You know what's going to be the tough thing is,
excuse me.
You know, you always talk about confidence and confidence of the quarterback and confidence in the quarterback, and how Kordell Stewart can be confident or the players confident in him after this.
5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Randall Godfrey, defensive holding, automatic first down.
Brendan Stye, the starting right guard for the Steelers. You can see it's something on his right foot. In fact, we just heard it's a strained right ankle.
Automatic first down. Today's game is being produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. Associate directors Mike Roy, broadcast associates Fran Morrison and Charles McDonald. Technical producers Bob Muller, Rich Nelson, our stage manager. Steeler first down. Jones stacked up. That Cowboy defense hasn't stopped hitting yet.
Now, and the one thing that they thought they were going to have to worry about, in addition to Kordell Stewart throwing the ball, is Kordell Stewart running the ball. Now Kordell Stewart really doesn't want to run with the ball, and I don't know if that's why he didn't run with the ball or it's because of the left knee and the knee brace, the reason he didn't run with the ball. But I think everyone expected him to break some big plays running and passing today, and he really has done neither.
I'm here.
2nd and 9. Whitman is the man in motion. Stewart is sacked by Stoutmeyer, who replaced Brock Marion. The studio today produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers Bill Brown, the executive producers of Fox Sports Ed Gorin and David Hill.
There's Stoutmeyer there. As you said, he was in there for Brock Marion. That was always talk about blitzes and safety blitzes. That was a safety blitz where the Stoutmeyer started back as a free safety, worked up, ended up in the line of scrimmage and came on a blitz.
3rd and 11, 4 wide receivers for the Steelers. Pass is caught by Thigpen. Didn't get a first down. 5 minutes left to play. 37-0.
It's been a long day for Kordell Stewart. You see he's had 29 pass plays and the number of hits and knockdowns that he's had.
The last time the Steelers were shut out was back in 1993 by the Rams. That includes the playoffs. Rams shut them out 27-0. Flags on the play. Jones gets the first down. Flags on the play. Jerry Mark Bright, veteran official. He and his crew have done a good job today.
Yeah, they have. You know, for two physical
Offside.
teams.
Number 56, defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Randall Godfrey, excuse me.
There really hasn't been a lot of unnecessary roughness or anything stupid. I mean, we had the two guys kicking each other, and we had Michael Irvin, hitting the guy. But other than that, it's been a pretty clean game.
The early one by Deion Sanders when he was on the bench.
Well, yeah, I mean, Deion was. I mean, he was 50 yards away from the play. I don't know what he was doing there, and he probably doesn't know what he was doing there.
It's Kordell Stewart. Outside to Whitman. To the 12-yard line.
This has to be a killer for Bill Cowher. I mean, this goes against everything that he and his team represent. I mean, they've always been a ball control offense, have more plays than the other guy, time of possession, keep the ball, tough defense. And then when there's a shutout, you're on the other end of a shutout, not on this end of a shutout. And all those things that are happening to him today are really not what Bill Cowher is all about.
Jones inside the 10 to about the 8. Deion Sanders getting the pads off.
He's going to go play baseball tomorrow, I guess.
He says he is.
Yeah. And, the Cincinnati Reds says if he can play football on Sunday, he can play baseball on Monday. Gets his gear. He looks like he has some baseball gear on underneath there. The turtlenecks, that looks like baseball gear.
Don't need a turtleneck today.
He said he was playing here in April, and it was like 15 degrees, and they were booing him. And he said, tell these fans, anyone that comes out in April to watch a baseball game in this cold of weather, they ought to get a life.
Offside. Number 99, defense. Unabated to the quarterback. Half the distance to the goal.
Irvin McCormick. Watch Deion in left field for the Cincinnati Reds.
You don't think he heard about that from his teammates when he came back here?
Did he? How about his teammates there?
Well, there he did. I mean, they made a big deal out of it. And his teammates here. Michael Irvin says that was the first thing he was going to say, but you wanted to be a receiver? Well, I want you try and catch.
Here's Kordell Stewart firing in the end zone and a Steeler touchdown. Mark Bruener, the reception from Stewart. And the Steelers finally get on the scoreboard.
And they gave these fans here something to finally cheer about. They've been waiting the whole game, and more than half of them had left already, and the ones that have stayed, at least they can stand up and cheer or clap or dance or use their signs or whatever they wanted to. They've been holding that stuff back for 3 hours.
That paint gets heavy by this time of day.
Yeah, no, I mean, you think what you're going to do when the Steelers win or score or whatever, and how you're going to be cute, and then they don't do anything.
The extra point is good. That makes it 37-7. Richard Roundtree has an incredible ensemble cast in 4-13 Hope Street.
If you look at the Cowboys here, they're in what you call an onside kick prevent. That's their return. It's an onside kick prevent, and then you'll watch the Steelers. They'll get in some kind of onside kick formation.
Got the guys with the good hands.
Yeah, and then sometimes you'll look and you'll see that they're in the onside kick, protection where they're in that thing, and you just kick it deep against them too. And sometimes you can come up with a play, or you kick it past that second group. They're in an onside prevent. Sometimes you just boom it deep and you can come up with a big play.
Norm Johnson will kick it off.
And that could be what he's going to do, is just kick it deep.
Well, he tried to kick it away from everybody.
They can get a play.
It goes into the end zone. They'll bring it back to the 20. The triplets, better known as Aikman, Irvin, and Smith. Aikman outstanding. His career high 4 touchdowns, 19 out of 30. Michael Irvin, another great day, 7 catches, 154 yards. And Emmitt Smith, 26 times.
Then it was Anthony Miller who got him started, with that touchdown when he came under control and got in the middle. And of course, the Moose catches a touchdown too. But having said that, and having said Troy, the triplets and all that stuff, that offensive line of the Cowboys today dominated and was outstanding, especially in pass protection.
Sherman Williams gets the carry. And you keep thinking as you look at that offensive line that Tuinei is getting older, Nate Newton is getting older, and how much longer can they continue to go? And they keep going.
Yeah, they do, and Tuinei really looked good today.
Yeah.
I thought that he looked better. Even when I watched him on film, I thought he looked better these preseason games he played this year than he did all of last year. And of course, Eric Williams is getting better again.
Here's Sherman Williams.
You see what Eric Williams did on that play?
Yeah.
That's his draw move. Anytime you get a draw, he lets a guy go by him, and then he just slaps him going on by. Watch him right here. This is his draw move. Or anytime you want a guy to go up the field and you just want to do him, watch. He starts it here. Now watch his left arm. Boink. He just knocks him to the ground. That's his draw or run away. That's how you do it.
2 minutes left.
Linemen, and the job that these guys did today here. Mark Tuinei at left tackle, Nate Newton at left guard. Clay Shiver did an outstanding job today for the first time. These two guys were superb. Larry Allen and Eric Williams right here. And not only on the run, they didn't get a lot of running, but the protection that they gave Troy Aikman made it look like dummy scrimmage for the Cowboys.
3rd and 2. This is Sherman Williams. Got the first down. There's Brock Marion, who had an outstanding game.
And he could be dehydrated. It's hot down there, and the opening. In the preseasons, guys play a quarter, they play a half, and then the regular season starts, and and you're playing the whole 4 quarters, and you're going at a different speed, and and then it gets a little warm, and you're on the road, and I think there's going to be some cramping and some dehydration on both these teams.
Wade Wilson just trying to run it out. That first down. Although the Steelers have timeouts left, they're not going to take them.
Not at 37-7.
No,
I think they just want to get this thing over with and get off this field and
sort of start thinking about hey, what went wrong with all of our preseason success. This is the team's worst defeat ever in Bill Cowher's 8 years.
And there's not a lot of bright spots. I mean, it wasn't that, well, the offense didn't play well, but the defense did, or the special teams did, or they were whipped in all areas. They didn't do well in any area, really.
All their blitzing schemes the Cowboys had pretty well solved.
And the Cowboys did. You're always ready to bury the Cowboys. They lose this or that. They're not as good as they used to be, but even having said that, maybe they're not as good as they used to be, but they're still better than most of them.
Clock still running, and it'll run out as Barry Switzer has been to Pittsburgh twice since he took over as the head coach of the Cowboys and won both times. Convincingly both times.
There's Jerry Jones. I saw him at practice yesterday and said he remembers 3 years ago when he came in and he did the exact same things the last 2 days that he did 2 years ago.
A long day for that Pittsburgh Steeler too. Greg Lloyd. Pretty well frustrated him. Dallas wins it then and opens with a key victory on the road, 37-7.